By the way, I've never worked out with a personal trainer before working out here. I did try it once, and I thought I would never do it again for the rest of my life.
Take one. I have the pleasure of sitting with Danielle Bergner, mom, wife, attorney, basically puts deals together for mainly in the healthcare field.
That's right.
Is that accurate?
That's right.
So what was your genesis, or what got you working out with us?
I think, Pete, you first reached out to me about, 10, 11 years ago.
It was 13, but who's counting?
Who's counting?
Yeah. I used to say this gal Emily Phillips, was my longest sales cycle, which was about 17 years, but
yeah.
You were a difficult one to convince as well. You had
close.
A few things going on. So, all right, so 13 years ago, and finally.
Honestly, I just had 5 or 6 friends that were working out here and just said such great things about what it had done for their life and for their health. And 13 years after having a child, having realized I really had not invested in myself in a very long time. And I was starting at 43 years old to really be feeling the effects of that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I even really appreciated how far gone my physical health had gone before I started working here. And then I realized pretty quick, no wonder my back hurts and my shoulder hurts and my neck hurts and everything hurts all the time. And so then it pretty quickly turned into not just a referral from friends, but I have some real work to do here to be healthy.
And you are putting the work in.
I am.
You are consistent.
2 days a week
for
the last 2 years.
What are some of the specific things that have taken place that you're noticing?
So some are obvious and some I would not have expected. So the obvious ones are I'm just a lot stronger. I'm a lot more, I feel just a lot more confident doing physical activities, trying new sports, trying new activities than I used to. I'm golfing again. I wasn't even golfing, for a year because my back was so bad. I'm back to golfing. Those are kind of the obvious things, just I'm feeling better. I have a lot more energy. I'm stronger. The not so obvious things, which I had to reflect on a little bit, is, training here has given me a whole level of accountability that I've never had in my physical life before. And it's also just given me a lot of motivation to work on other things, health related for myself.
Yeah.
So, things that I never would have done before. And for me, it all comes down to personal investment. And what I really realized over the last 2 years is I really had not invested in myself. I put everybody in my life before me for 13 years. And that's, my family, my work, my clients, everybody got me before I did. And so now what this has really given me is a motivation to work on other things. So I see a physical therapist periodically to work on, other things. I'm eating better. It's part of a, for me, there wasn't one aha moment. For me, the realization that I've come to is, what is all this work good for if when I'm 50, 60 years old, I can't enjoy any of it because I'm not healthy? Why did I work so hard for all these years if I can't enjoy my 50s and 60s with my, then adult child and my husband?
The old saying, maybe it's not an old saying, it's my saying. I am so glad that I waited till I was 65 to hire you guys to work with, to train me. Said by nobody ever. It's
That's so true.
just, the wake-up call. We steal this line from the airlines, right? They always tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first. And it is so applicable. The reality is, if you start putting your own oxygen mask on first, the family, the career, the friends are all going to be taken care of at an even higher level because you're taking care of you. Is there something that jumps out at you that you feel specifically in your professional career like the training is helping?
You know, the kind of work I do, which is deal work, it is intense. It requires a lot of stamina and persistence, and I definitely feel like I have more gas in the tank for those types of endeavors since I started training here. Frankly, when I started here 2 years ago, my tank was empty, for sure. Like, I don't even know how I would have continued doing what I was doing if I had not undertaken a life realignment to really focus on my health. So it definitely helps in that respect. But I would also say, Pete, the other way that I found that it helps me, and this is a little bit more esoteric, but I think I'm a better mentor, I'm a better colleague, I'm a better friend to the people in my professional life because I'm healthier, right? So now that I'm prioritizing my own health, I love that my associates are prioritizing their health, right? Where maybe, years ago when I wasn't prioritizing my health, I would have been a little envious, frankly, of my associates doing that. So now that I'm doing it myself, I love it that they do it, and I support them in that. And what I've realized, it just makes me a much better mentor to people and a much better colleague.
Who is the type of person you believe would benefit from working with us?
I mean, I really think anybody could benefit from working with the group.
I love that answer.
I think that anybody who wants to be better, and I say that broadly, like better in their personal life, better in their health, better in their professional life. It's not one or the other. I mean, you're better in all of those things when you prioritize yourself. And this system here and the support that I've gotten here has allowed me to be steady. I've had accountability. I appreciate that the trainers always know where I am. So it's a completely tailored program. I've never felt pushed beyond my limits. By the way, I've never worked out with a personal trainer before working out here. I did try it once, and I thought I would never do it again for the rest of my life. I hated it so much. And so the trainers here are really, really in tune with where people are. And I mean that on a day-to-day basis. So I feel like every day that I come in here, Chelsea is assessing where I'm at. Right?
Every session's an assessment. The best coaches I ever had, as an athlete in grade school and high school and college, were the ones that actually knew me.
Right.
And they knew how much they could push me, and they knew if, and then they could adjust. And we do ask that our clients, bring your A game. Things happen, but just show up.
Yes.
And you show up.
And I always feel better for being here. Even if I am tired or I had a rough week, and even if I'm on my B+ game, Pete, I may not be on my A game, but even if I'm on my B+ game, I feel so much better for just having been here. And people here always lift my spirits. The energy here, it lifts my spirits, and that's why I come consistently, because it's a value add in my life.
What was the aha moment 2 years ago where you decided there is more, life is going to be better with, more health and fitness and all that?
It was March of 21, so we were 1 year into the pandemic. And that was hands down the hardest professional year of my life. No doubt. Personal too. Personal and professional. It was a very hard year. And I really was I was depleted. I mean, I just hit a wall where I thought, I don't know how I keep doing this. This being just the same thing that I was doing. I have to do something different. And the people that I know who have trained here, these are people I trust. These are people that I know aren't trying to sell me on something. These are people that, see a friend who really needs to take better care of herself and said, this might be a good way to start. And my thinking at the time was, well, what does it hurt? I'll try it. If If I like it, great. If I don't like it, okay. There's no long-term commitment. There's no, and so when I started, I mean, I realized pretty quickly that it was hard for me because I had not worked out in so long.
Yeah.
But I also realized pretty quickly that it was giving me energy in a way that I had not felt for a long time. So I think, combined with the friends that were referring me, I think it was really just where I was in my life. Like I had a moment where I had to pause and say, is this really the life I want to be living?
Is this all?
Is this all I have, right?
Yeah.
Just work 24/7. Is this really who I am and what I'm about? And the answer was no.
Yeah.
That's not all I am and all I'm about. And to be all the other things that I want to be in my life, I mean, it has to start here.
Yeah.
If I don't start here, none of those other things come to life. The hardest part was just starting.
Yeah.
Once I started, I found almost immediate value.
Yeah.
So that was the hardest part, just to make the first phone call and do the first assessment and just come in here. That was by far my biggest hurdle. Coming in here now 2 days a week is not a hurdle.
Yeah.
It's something I look forward to.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm having some fun with the most difficult part is actually to come in here. And I'm sensitive to the fact that if life and business have taken over and you've allowed yourself to lose some of that fitness and that pop and that energy, it can be very intimidating coming into a place because there's this perception of personal trainers, and I would refer to ourselves as we're more strength coaches than personal trainers, but there's this intimidation factor as, well, everybody there is going to be really fit. The 5 or 6 people that recommended have maybe been training with us for 2 or 3 years, and they've made a lot of progress. And the reality is, we don't have that much power. You can come in, test drive us. You're going to know within 5 or 10 minutes, probably, if this is a good buzz, if this is a good culture that is going to support you and your goals and objectives. And we're sensitive to that. We want this place to be welcome for everybody that's interested in more.
Well, that it is. I mean, I've never met somebody here who doesn't have a smile on their face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the energy here is so great. Everybody's happy to be here. The other kind of unexpected benefit is just with my family. I mean, I brought my son in here. He learned how to start weightlifting here and the right way.
Yeah.
And when he started here, I mean, he's 13 now, so he was probably 12, barely 12 when we started. I mean, he was, his confidence wasn't really that great, and now, I mean, he's in the gym 6 days a week. This kid is lifting weights. He's playing football. He's playing basketball.
He'll try anything.
He wants to try all the things all of a sudden, and he never would have done that before. And this has been a great confidence builder for him. I'm so glad that we brought him in, and frankly, it's just kind of become a family thing now. My husband Brian, he's always been into fitness. Always. He is, Mr. Fitness.
Yeah.
And he's always been very encouraging in a very diplomatic way with me, right?
Diplomacy is important when you're dealing with Danielle.
But not always effective. not always effective.
Right.
But he has tried, and now that I'm committed to a program, we can enjoy being healthy as a family, and we can enjoy being strong as a family.
Yeah.
And it's created a bond in our family that's been really great.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to high school ahead, and it's given us all kind of something to coalesce around at a time in our son's life when it's really easy to pull apart.
Yep.
We actually found something that pulls us together, which is the gym.
And building a legacy, for your son to continue.
Yes.
And all of those things. So, well, that is beautiful. Thank you for taking the time.
Yep.
And we'll see you around.
Thanks, Pete.
Yep.